What is up, guys? Welcome to Game Piece. It is Dave here and Steve. We are playing. Well, I'm not playing. Steve had the privilege to play in the Star Wars beta, and I tried to get in there, but I couldn't do it. So Steve started a smuggler, as you can see, and I don't know. How'd you like it, Steve?
I liked it. I gotta say, I liked
Yeah,
it. I liked it even a little bit more than I thought I would.
really. Now,
Yeah.
see, I've been looking at some of the video footage, and I don't know. First impressions, I wasn't really impressed.
I know. It's not much to look at. I think that's part of the problem. I think that
Yeah,
might be why the DNR lasted so long for this game, because it really, just by looking at it, it's you can't really get the feel for it. Remember all the
yeah,
complaining that I did about like Rift and EverQuest 2 about how the combat didn't feel perfect.
yeah,
It felt sluggish.
yeah,
How like in WoW, when you hit an instant attack, it goes off. It almost makes you feel like an action game because it's so polished.
yeah. You actually feel like the attacks connect.
Right. That's what this
Yeah.
feels like. When I hit the button, it shoots my gun.
So you're saying it matches WoW?
Kinda, yeah. I'm,
Huh. Well, that's pretty good then. That's a good thing. Oh, there we go. Um,
Story-wise, it exceeds WoW. As far as, like, how brought into the story you are, because of the voiceover. And the voiceover work is all excellent as far as I can tell so far.
yeah, I saw a few clips, and the storyline in this game is just top notch.
Now, mind
Obviously,
you, a lot of the things that happened before this, like this happens after you pick your character, and then you get the whole beginning plot of the story when you pick your character. When you first start the game, you get this cutscene that is awesome, and it's long, and it like really gets you wanting to play the game. And then after you pick which faction, whether you pick Republic or Sith Empire, you get another cutscene showing that faction. And then when you pick your class, and the character looks completely ridiculous. I'll get into that in a minute.
your guy looks a little beefy.
um, Once you pick your character, in your race and stuff, you get another cutscene with the scrolling credits, and I assume they're all different. Uh, yeah, watch the facial. I assume beta is beta, as everybody likes to say. Beta is beta, and they better fix this before release because those little implant things, they kind of float around my face while I'm talking. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I understand beta is beta, but I just don't see them really. Oh,
Like,
wow. Yeah, saw that. Uh, what the hell was that? They like sink into your head.
it's like they're static, and my face moves, or the character's face moves, and the pieces don't move with the face.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there's a million videos that people have been putting up for character creation, but none of them really went into the bonuses for each race, and there are bonuses per race. The reason why I picked Cyborg, which is what this is I thought that the bonus was the best. You get a buff that lasts for an hour that gives you and all group members 5% bonus to crit.
Okay,
And
that's nice.
yeah, and I mean
So
it
that's good
doesn't
for
cost.
healers. That's good for healers or DPS or tanks.
Yeah, it's
Anyone can
good for
use
pretty much
crit.
everything. And you can use it
So,
as many times as you want. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to maintain it. So
so why did you put big old man boobs on your dude?
he didn't look
I
like
mean, you made
that.
your dude.
The character creation window is misleading. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the ticket window. Don't worry about that.
I mean, look at the chest on that guy.
I
Look at
know,
that.
I know. He's broad.
That's a good word to use. He's
Ah,
broad.
okay, here's another thing I want to talk about. You see how badly it's running right now?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I was panicking. I was panicking that I would not be able to fraps this game. Look at this. I mean, I'm getting like 4 frames a second, literally. I'm freaking out. I'm like, this. There's no way that this game could be running this badly. I'm not even gonna be able to play this.
Yeah, it's not that graphically intense.
Right,
This game.
exactly. So here's me going in trying to turn the graphics down because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to fraps this. It's running horribly. My computer can't handle it. Whatever. And I'm looking at the settings, and there really isn't anything that's turned up all that crazy except for the view distance. So I turned that down. And it doesn't really affect it much. You'll notice that it still continues to more or less run like crap for a
Yeah.
while.
Well, this was a stress test event, right?
True. However,
So.
like all betas, they invite people that really have no interest in testing the game and they just want to say that they logged into it. Once you get past like level 2, your frame rate shoots through the roof.
So it was just a lot of people in the beginning.
Yeah. Once you get past a certain point with these quests, everything smooths out. Another thing I noticed is this game just flat out does not like to be frapsed. I was getting 25 frames a second, something like that, frapsing. When I turned fraps off, I was getting 50.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, did the game crash on you at all?
no, the game did not crash on me at all. In fact, you actually can't leave the game.
You can't leave the game?
No, the function to log out does not work. So you
No, is that
can't
because it
leave.
was is that because it was a stress test, or what the hell is that about?
No, it just doesn't work. They said it was a bug that was in the earlier betas, and they just haven't fixed it yet. They
Ugh.
consider it something minor because they tell you when you log in that if your log out button doesn't work, to just Alt F4. It seems like it's something that they just aren't bothering with.
I see everyone has red hair. What the hell is that about? It's like the planet of gingers.
Um, since this is just beta, I didn't really care what the character looked like. I just wanted into the game.
Yeah.
But
Excuses.
yeah, he did. The character creation window is misleading.
This guy's rocking a nice porn stash.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you get 3 different options to reply to them. Does it matter what option you pick,
For the
or
most
they're
part,
pretty much just going to give you the same thing?
for the most part, it doesn't. But later on, when you start getting decisions that'll affect your alignment, it does.
Oh, I
You'll
started
get-
seeing those. Yes.
Yeah, you'll get light side decisions and dark side decisions, and they'll show you if they're immediately going to affect your alignment. Where the radial dial is in the middle, it'll have a blue icon for light and a red icon for dark. So if you don't want to answer, since it's not like a regular Bioware game where you could just save and then answer, and then if you don't like what happens when you answer, you can just back it up. You can't do that in an MMO, obviously. So it tells you ahead of time whether or not it's going to give you dark side points, which is kind of cool.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
With this particular character, I picked every single possible dark side answer that I could get. Some of them bordering on the ridiculous, things that no one would ever say to somebody, and some of them were just I couldn't really understand why they were the evil decision, but they were. Like there's this one quest where his kid does not want to go home to his parents, and making him go home is the evil decision. Letting him go and do his own thing is the good decision. I don't really get where they were going with that one. But
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah. At this point while I'm playing, I really had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people.
Yeah, if you look at my toolbar there on the bottom, the left obviously is your player, the right is your target. Okay. The
Oh,
abilities there. The second ability is cover. Now you see that little green shadow in front of me?
Yeah.
If I were to press 2, I would roll into that spot. I still haven't understood. I haven't gotten that part yet.
Now, was that just a smuggler thing?
Yes, it's a smuggler thing. As far as I can tell, it's a smuggler thing, and I think there's a class on Empire that has something similar. But when
I
you're
see you
in
just did it right
cover,
there.
yeah, when you're in cover, a different action bar comes up. You have access to different abilities. You do more damage and you take less damage, depending on the cover.
Hmm.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. The abilities that this particular character, especially at this level, that this character has while not in cover, pretty much suck. Very, very few abilities. Like I have a quick shot, the multi-shot thing that does very little damage, and later on I get this headshot thing that's like a dot, and then I get a couple melee abilities, which I imagine are for PvP. I can't imagine why I would ever get anywhere near anything. You know, I would never get close enough to something to hit it. Like you actually get a pistol whip ability. I can't imagine that I would ever use it aside from PvP.
Does it? Maybe it does an insane amount of damage. No.
No, no, no.
No. No.
Um, one of them I believe has a knockback, like a little bit of a knockback. Nothing major, nothing ridiculous, but the blue light. See that blue light? Anytime something is your loot, it's got that big giant blue light coming out of it, so there's no guessing, which is cool.
Okay.
One of the things that I had a little bit of trouble with was figuring out what I could and could not loot until I realized that, hey, there's a guy with a giant blue light sticking out of it. So, yeah.
The one with the giant blue beam. That one's yours.
Now, you see how there's like 8 billion people here?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this part of this zone, just this part, because I didn't run into this specific thing at any other part when I was playing this game. I think this part is phased. Because after you finish this section of quests, you have to go back into your ship, and a little story progression thing comes out. And then when you come out, there's like no one there. There's no players. And the game runs like twice as good. So I'm thinking that this little intro thing, this little intro part, has its own phase, so to speak. And once you come back to it after I think you get like level 2 or something like that. You're not with these people anymore until they get to that point. I think that might be how they break up the starting area.
It doesn't look like there's tagging in this. Like it looked like some other people, you guys were all shooting the same thing and getting credit for it.
There is. There's tagging. This isn't a group. There are areas where like everybody who runs into that area will get credit for everything. This isn't one of those areas.
Kind of like DC Universe or something.
Right. It works more or less like WoW. The first person to cause damage to it tags it.
Okay.
You don't necessarily, if you don't, do the maximum amount of damage to it, you're not going to get the maximum amount of experience. But the first person who does physical damage to it gets credit for the kill.
Gotcha.
A lot of these people are, because there's so many people, there's just not enough mobs. Yes, I got a green.
I just saw that. Yeah, that was a green beam. So the green beam
It
just tells
tells
you right off the bat that you have a green.
Right, and if there's a blue,
Okay.
it'll be blue. I assume
Same color option as well.
I don't know. I've only gotten blues. Blues are the
So
highest. Yeah, I've gotten 3 blues, and they're all from quests. So I don't know if I don't know what's higher than that, to be honest with you. I assume that there's epics or something close to it. I don't know if they made them purple, but hey. Did you see the green thing that I just walked through?
Yeah, I've seen that before. That's you can only go in there and no one else can go in there. It's almost like a phased area.
It is a phased area. If someone's
Yeah.
in your group, they can come in with you, as long as you let them. But
Gotcha.
no one else just randomly can walk in. And I mean, they can walk into this building, but it won't be the people that I'm.
It won't be
fighting.
in your game.
Right, basically. This is the only one that I found like this, where it's just a couple people that I had to shoot. Most of the time, it's there'll be quest givers in here. There's also What else did I find in there? There's ones that it's like a quest hub. There'll be a vendor in there. A couple other things. Uh, but most of the social areas, they're not instanced. They're all just open. Like there's a cantina that you can go in. He just gets frustrated and shoots it.
Yeah. Why trying to figure it out? You can shoot it. Me big, me shoot things. God, that's a big chest. Oh.
This isn't my fault. Separatists are busting into the hangar. We're giving them a warm welcome, but we can use a hand. Scout, get over here. Help me seal this hangar door. Scout, what are you...
Ooh, plot spoilers.
Oh boy.
Now, if you watch the beginning, Skavik was the other guy that was with him, helping. He was the guy who was offloading all the crap that I was bringing to this planet. It was like guns or something.
Gotcha.
Also, that was the quest to go back to the hangar. Okay. Now, once I finally finish all this crap, this is just like WoW. There's like a device that you have to activate, and you got to fight with everybody around you to get to click on it first, basically, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I guess they got to put these quests in just for variety, but
Yeah.
if you're not
That's
the
a nice
first
quick
person,
respawn though.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
stuff.
Most of the things in all of these areas, even in the later ones, they all respawn very quickly, which is cool. I don't know whether that's just for launch or what. But,
Oh, that little girl ninja'd that.
yeah, she does.
She's a ninja.
It happens a lot. She does it again to me, I think.
Oh,
Like the next one, I had to do this to 4 of them.
damn. It's like launch a cataclysm all over again.
Yeah. At least the item's kind of big, though.
Yeah. Oh, remember Rift launch? It was so bad, like the little cannons. Oh my
And you
God.
couldn't just click on the cannon, you had to click on the right spot on the cannon.
Yeah. Oh, that was so bad.
You see that guy? I mean, that guy like got
Yeah.
out there and had that shit macroed.
Seriously. Well, how did you like playing a smuggler?
It was different. I can't really get into the meat and potatoes of the class yet because when you first start out, like when you first pick your character, there's only 4 classes you can choose from. But those 4 classes branch off into 2 other classes, like the 2 actual classes. This is the very basic class.
Yeah, I'm not really a big branching class kind of guy, to be
Well,
honest with
see,
you.
what I think
But-
they did was, this is to help you understand how to play the game. That's really all this is. The branching class thing, that's your actual class choice. So what you would do, like, say an example would be like in WoW, you're trying to make the decision as to whether or not you want to play a warlock or a mage. Okay, they're 2 similar classes, but they have differences. If it were like that in this game, it would be a class called a wizard, and they would have like, say, Shadowbolt and Fireball with the same spell. Whatever your like most basic spell is, that's what they would give you, and then like a buff or something like that. And you'd have that until level 10, and then at level 10 you'd either pick warlock or mage. They're completely different classes, but they start at similar roots. Where this class, you start off like this with cover-based shooting, things like that, and the 2 classes that it branches off to are gunslinger and scoundrel. Gunslinger is dual-wield pistol, straight up DPS. The talent trees are all 3 of them are DPS. How about it? Yeah, that's another thing. There's 3 talent trees. I don't know what it is with 3 talent trees in games, but apparently no one can come up with more or less than 3 talent trees.
Yeah.
It's like Blizzard wrote the Bible on that, and there are 3 talent trees, and that's it, and that's it. But anyway.
Well,
So
see, I thought it was kind of weird because when the classes that I was looking at playing, which was the Sith Inquisitor, You have the the advanced classes for them. You have the sorcerer, who I I think is more like a healing class. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the assassin, which is almost sounds more like a rogue class, which are
Right.
completely different.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm getting at. Like I said, Gunslinger, it's dual wheel pistol, it's straight up DPS. I don't even think that's even cover based anymore. Like I think it might be a little bit, but for the most part, it looks like it's all quick shooting, like running and gunning. I think it said that some parts of it are you have to get in the cover. The scoundrel though, 2 talent trees are DPS, the other one is healing, and it's stealth
Yes,
based.
that is kind of weird.
Right. The way that I
But you can respec and play any one of them.
you can respec your talents, yes. You can't shoot once you make the decision for which class you want at level 10. Like for me, it would be either gunslinger or scoundrel. Once you make that decision, you can't go back.
Oh, okay.
But the 3 talent trees
Okay.
within the thing, you can respec whenever you want. It costs money, and just like WoW, it goes up every time. The more times you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can switch between them, and it's like the scoundrel. The DPS part of it is it's shotgun and pistol, and you get bonuses for sneaking up on people and shooting them with a shotgun and that kind of thing, and you can like shoot them in the back and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, it sounds beneficial to be the scoundrel because you can DPS or heal.
right, exactly. That's what I was, and that's what I ended up picking. I didn't play much of it, so I don't know like how good it is.
Mhm.
But
It's
if you wanted,
I would imagine that they're almost like a support healer, maybe not make a main healer.
I don't know. I
But-
don't know. It's all mechanical, so it could be a straight up healer. I mean, the heal that I had was pretty good, and it had no cooldown. It was just a 2-second cast.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not a cast. It's like it takes 2 seconds to use the little machine that heals people.
Yeah.
But every talent in that tree was based on healing. Like it had different abilities in it, just like WoW. There's extra abilities that you get through your talents. There's also I'm trying to figure out where the hell to go here. I have no idea how to like move this along. There's different abilities. There's other things you get through it, and as you level through the class, there's more healing abilities. So it sounds like a no-brainer as far as like which class would be easier to play or have more choices. As the scoundrel, you can heal yourself and you can stealth and you can backstab people and hide.
Yeah,
and,
that sounds like a pretty nice class.
yeah. I mean, it sounds like a ranged rogue with healing.
Now, I was on the website looking at the advanced classes, and I feel like they're going to have a pretty big problem with PvP in this game, because if you look at the Sith side, the Sith Inquisitioner, now the other half on the Republic side is, I guess, the Jedi Consular. Is that right?
I'm not sure what the. I know
I'm
one
pretty
of
sure
them is
that's
a
like-
straight up tank, and the other one is.
I mean,
Like-
but each faction has its own separate class.
Mhm.
They're not like you. They're not. You can't have, the smuggler, like what was the smuggler one subclass that you were thinking about taking?
Scoundrel.
The scoundrel. There's no scoundrel equivalent on the Sith side.
Right. That's what I think
So-
is so interesting and different about this game, and that both
Well-
factions have completely different classes.
I think that's going to be really hard to balance PvP. I think that's a really bad idea, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think
Well,
PvP
you
servers
never
are
know.
going to be insane, and battlegrounds are just going to be unbalanced. But hey, more power to them if they can actually pull it off.
You gotta remember, Vanilla WoW. There were no paladins on Horde. There were no shamans on
Yeah,
Alliance.
that is true.
Which, I mean, it was kind of funny, and everybody always said that the other faction was overpowered because of each. People said shamans were Jesus because they walked on water, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. I'm not on. I didn't roll this character on a PvP server. Another thing, for a beta, this game has like 40 servers. The
That's
freaking
pretty
list
awesome.
popped up when I started the game. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I have no doubt that this game will be successful at launch, but I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't pull a DC Universe Online. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Well, I think the story and the single player aspect of this game will carry it at least a couple months,
Yeah.
especially for people who
And-
like to level characters.
And
Because
it doesn't have SOE hands in it, so
yeah. Oh god.
that's good. That's good news.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
any
it's
MMO.
BioWare, so you know, at the very least, it's a decent story, and it's going to be a good single player game. I mean, you can play this like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. After you get a little bit further in the game, you get a companion. So you can run like group missions solo, basically. Which is, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
He's more or less like a pet, but you can like put different gear on him and stuff like that. And it's like another character.
That's kind of cool.
That's me realizing that I had the buff. I just used it finally.
Well, you have to understand that this is your first time actually in the beta playing the game. It's not like you've
Mm.
been playing the beta the whole time.
Yeah. And I didn't watch a whole lot of the videos. I was trying to leave as much unknown as possible.
Yeah. I've been watching a few videos and all Sith related, just so you know. And the game looks, it looks fun. It just, sometimes I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks kind of dated. But,
See, that's the
You know.
thing, though. I mean, like, I spent a few. Look how much different it is. Look, see how much different it is.
yeah,
How much better it's running. Like, there's hardly any stutter now. It just all of a sudden started running 100 times better.
yeah, and everyone is gone.
Right. So I'm wondering if that first part of it, just that first section, is phased. And you'll never see anywhere near that many people again. So I don't know whether it's just that no one leveled past 2.
I find that hard to believe, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would go
I
with,
mean, you'll see a lot of people. There will be, people running around and stuff like that, but nowhere near that amount of people all in one spot.
I do. Private Westman, 31st Recon out of Fort Garner.
I'm trying to imagine how long it must have taken to record all of this voice acting.
yeah.
It must have taken forever.
Now, if you wanted to skip this, I mean, you're doing all this just to accept a quest, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of patience.
I mean, the basic ones, you can actually turn down some of these quests. Actually, a lot of these quests, if you pick certain choices, you can actually just turn them down, like tell them to piss off or something like that.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. I want to accept the quest. I just, less talk, more. Let's get on with it.
I'm sure that the's, like.
But I guess
fast
you're not
forward
really
button.
going to play this for that. You're probably going to play this for the storyline.
Yeah, I'm
mainly,
actually.
So
I'm really enjoying the story.
yeah,
And
it's-
MMOs. I mean, like I love the story for Warcraft. I've read a lot of the books. I, enjoy the lore. I enjoy the characters, but the quests, with very few exceptions, I never have any idea what the hell's going on because I'm not going to read all that. It's just, I'm in the middle of a game. I just want to get it over with, Having it. Did you see that guy get blown away right next to me?
Yeah.
I was like, what the frick was that?
Was that an actual player?
No, it was an NPC. He just got shot
Oh.
from somewhere. Yeah, I mean, like with the text, it's so generic and impersonal and boring. The text really, it makes you forget the kind of game that you're playing. That's what makes this game different from other MMOs, in my opinion. I mean, as far as the way the game plays and stuff like that, basically, it's still the same thing that we've been doing forever. It's a hockey MMO. You
Yeah.
know, but the fact that the story is decent and it really gets you into the story with the voice acting, it adds an element that's been missing from these games, like another green there.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, like Rift, I have no
I hate-
fucking clue what the hell is going on in that game. You know, I leveled 4 characters to 30 something. I still have no clue what the hell is going on. I know the beginning that, like, you know, you got the one side that were chosen by who knows what, and then the other side.
I just know Regulus is pissed off.
Yeah.
in that game.
But who is he? I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I have 2 maxed out characters in that game, and I still have a hard time with the storyline. I just, you know.
That bugs me.
Well,
I mean,
that's
at
the
least
thing.
in WoW.
I really liked Rift and how it played, and I loved the graphics, and I liked how polished it was. But there was no connection.
I thought that there was the combat could have been a little bit more polished.
Mhm.
I thought it didn't feel as crisp as WoW did, and the fact that some classes were just not viable at all. I mean, some of those
Well-
specs were just garbage. It's like they were
Yeah.
there just to put another spec in. Like
Yeah.
almost half the rogue specs were completely useless.
Yeah. Well,
And, I mean, it gave you the illusion that there was so much open, like as far as your spec and everything, but it just came down to fluff. I mean,
yeah.
you know.
You always need a good fluffer. You know.
Well,
you know,
it's the same
you
thing in all
talked
these
about-
games. There's the ideal spec, and you know you have the
Well, yeah,
best
there's always going to be a
rotation.
metagame that comes in play where people are going to get the best PvP spec, the best PvE spec. They're going
Right.
to, do the numbers, they're going to do the math, and they're going to come up with an ideal thing to play.
Right.
I mean, that's going to happen in any game you want.
Yeah.
But at least Rift had the ability that if you didn't want to do the ideal play, you just wanted to do your own thing and kind of be your own, like, person and not be in a guild and stuff like that, you had the option to play your own playstyle.
True.
But even if
But-
it wasn't a viable playstyle.
Well, that's the thing,
The
though. A
option
lot
was
of
there.
those playstyles that weren't viable were really not viable. Like, you couldn't even
Yeah.
solo with them. Like,
Yeah, some of them
couldn't
were.
kill anything with any reasonable speed with a rogue. It was ridiculous. I tried.
And you mentioned, that this game has really great voiceovers and it keeps you, it connects to you. But I hate to keep bringing it up, but DC Universe had amazing voiceovers, and that game was a flop and a half. So
But leveling was fun.
leveling it was fun in what, DC Universe?
Yes.
I agree.
Leveling was great. We both enjoyed it. We both leveled to 50
I did.
pretty quick in that game.
I level 30.
What did I say?
Said 50, but yeah, no,
Oh.
the leveling to 30 was quick and easy and fun, and the voiceovers were great. Like,
Right.
but somehow,
Because there was nothing to do at the end. There's nothing
I
to do
know.
aside from doing the
I-
same thing over and over and over again. I'm not
I think-
going to tell you right now that this game isn't going to be the same way. But
I think most
at the-
MMOs suffer from that. Even Rift had some suffering stuff, which had the most end game content at launch than any other MMO at its time, and people were
Right.
still complaining that there was nothing to do at the end of the game. And you guys have to give it some time. It's a brand new MMO. People are not going to level up as quick as a lot of people, and you have to sit there and be like, there is going to be no end game for a while. So,
at least with this, like if the end game lags, or if people end up finding that they can't figure out what they're supposed to be doing, or they want to wait for enough people to join up, so they're looking for group system gets the whatever you
Oh, yeah, is
call
there-
it, the queue
is
gets
there
a little
looking
less.
is
There is a looking for group
tool?
system. I haven't played around with it at all.
That's good. I hope that's
don't
working
know.
at launch.
Yeah, I haven't done any instances or dungeons. I don't even know if I could at this point.
Do you know anything about the planets?
Very
Because-
little.
I went on here and there are I don't know, it looks like there's, 1,800 different planets to go to already. And I'm wondering if one zone is a planet, or if there's a ton of different zones on each planet. Like, how
Well,
big
this-
is this game?
This starter planet, I mean, the area that you can go to is somewhat limited, but they call them origin planets. Depending on which class and faction you pick, you get stuck on one of these planets. Some classes share planets, like this one is shared with the Commando, I think is the Republic version of the Stormtrooper. I forget what the hell it is. But it's just two. It's Smuggler and another one. And you can tell because they're, for some reason, almost all of them later in level are dressed in white. And they have big guns. Really, really big cannons. People are saying, you don't need cover with a BFG.
Yeah.
But, I think both Jedi start on the same planet. And I assume, the other class. Oh, wait, no, it's just the 4. So yeah, there's probably 2 origin planets per faction.
Okay.
Which pretty much makes sense. Anyway, the area that you walk around in on this origin planet is freaking huge. It's gotta be the biggest 1 to 10 area I've ever seen in the game. But keep in mind, this is just 1 to 10.
Yeah.
This whole planet. It's enormous, and it takes forever to walk across. The equivalent of flight pass in this game are speeder bikes. I didn't figure this out until much later, but there's these points in each of the quest hub towns where there's a robot. You talk to the robot, and he saves the flight point, and you can move from point to point using a speeder bike. It costs a really minute amount of money.
Okay.
Also, there is no recall in this game.
Oh, there's no Hearthstone?
No, but
What?
it's better. It's better.
You whistle.
I think I ended up
and
typing it.
Your starship
No.
comes down.
I think sort of actually. When I found the terminal, I think I ended up actually typing sigh. I sighed because I didn't know what it was at the time, and what I thought it was made me very upset. Because you'll find a terminal, you'll see it eventually. I don't remember when I do it, but it says you are now bound to this location or binding to this location. I was like, oh my god, EverQuest. It was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna die and end up going back to where I first started. Oh my god, I can't believe this. This is horrible. I was so pissed. What it does is, in each one of these towns, you activate this terminal. This is the trainer, by the way. I was just learning all different skills. So the trainers are just like every other MMO. You go to them, you buy the skills, and then it puts them on your skill block. That's it.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Very revolutionary. Got it.
Yeah. When you go to these terminals, you use the terminal activates for that town, and then you can fast travel to that town from wherever.
What?
If you look
Skyrim?
If you look on my toolbar, you see that blue ball?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You click on that blue ball, and once a half hour, I can fast travel to any place I've ever been. So, 10 times better than a freaking Hearthstone.
Yeah, totally.
But I think
That's
it only
way better.
works per planet. So. But like I said, the zones on the planet, I mean, at least this planet, are huge. And
Yeah.
it's seamless. There's no loading times. I haven't found a loading time at all. Other than, going from the first cutscene to the first play.
Yeah. I mean, this game is definitely gonna have a lot of room to grow as well.
Oh, yeah.
With expansions and updates and stuff like that. I mean,
I mean, the content update, they can just add planets. Boom, there's new content. It's not like they have to
there's
look for space.
there's millions of books on Star Wars. I mean, they can
Exactly.
pull something up.
Let's post exchange around. You need it?
Yeah, fun to vend it. I don't know whether or not they're going to keep it like this in the live thing, but when I mouse over a couple things, you'll see it says this item has no use, but you can sell it to a vendor. They tell you what the crap items are, which is kind of cool. But there's no button to just sell all your crap.
See, that was a really good.
Until you get your companion.
Ah.
And when you get your companion, there's a button on your companion that says "Sell all my junk," and you can do it from anywhere.
See, that is awesome.
Yeah. Once you hit that button, your companion goes away, and a little timer appears on his like faceplate. Like if you look at my bar, to the left of my guy's face is where your companion bar shows up, and it's a pet bar just like any other game. There's aggressive, attack.
So
Stay
anyone can
or
get them.
stop. Yeah, as far as I know, everybody gets them.
Okay.
Well, at least the smugglers and the commandos or whatever the hell they're called, the other class that starts on this planet, we both get them.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if the Jedi's get them. I assume that
Do
they
you just get them at a certain level, or do you have to do a quest for them, or do you buy them?
It came with the story quest, the storyline quest.
Okay.
It's the other guy that was at my ship, the Corso guy. I forget his first name. Eventually, he just joins up with you because you're going and doing something, and your boss tells him to go with you, and then he's
Gotcha.
with you forever. You actually have a stat that tells how strong your companion is, like how powerful your companion is. It's called like cunning or something like that, I think. Not cunning. I don't remember. But one of your stats actually dictates how powerful your companion is. The medipacks work just like health potions. I actually put them on my bar. If you see that there, I got 2 of them
Yeah.
on my bar. You click on them and it heals a certain amount of health, just like any other game.
You said you could gear up your companions before, like you
Yes.
can. So if a green item drops on a mob, you can throw that green item on the companion.
Yes.
Can you give them weapons?
Yeah. I mean, it has to
Wow.
be based on your companion's class.
Yeah.
My companion is a smuggler, just like I am, so he uses the
Okay.
same weapons I do. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. He uses a rifle, so he's probably a trooper. No, it
Okay.
didn't even occur to me. But yeah, he used a rifle.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
companion
another
thing is
thing that
pretty
adds
cool.
like a whole new level.
Yeah.
This is like I was saying, this is a story quest hub. This whole building is instanced just to me. And upstairs, where I'm going now, is where the my boss's office is. And this is where
Yeah,
the
I can-
story is going to progress for the next few levels. I just have to
I
keep
can
going back to
see
having
the-
this big fat guy.
The areas are very big compared to
Yes.
you. It's a lot of walking. Even the rooms are very big.
We've had a rough day. How about a drink to wash away our worries? Here's a toast to my favorite things. The best collection of artworks and exotic beverages in the whole
I
system.
have to say, I probably picked the ugliest looking guy ever.
Yes,
I mean, he is not an attractive man.
You said it.
As employers go, he's not the most forgiving.
I try to pick the most dickish responses too. It's funny. Some of them are hysterical.
Should I be terrified just because he calls himself
Which is nice because like every single response you do, he has a different voiceover for. So that's a
Right.
lot of voiceovers.
Now, I've found a lot of repeats as far as like specific things that I say. Like a lot of the things, they don't have like a straight up evil response, but they have ones for like, "I'll do it if you pay credits."
Mhm.
And like one of the phrases that he says over and over again is something to the effect of, "If the credits are right, I'll think about it," or something like that. And that phrase is used over and over and over and over and over again in different quests, if you pick that specific response. So,
must be somebody else with knowledge of the separatists.
I mean, I would imagine that a lot of them are used more than once, like the responses. But for them, it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem like it's repeated. I mean, the only reason why I even noticed is because I was looking for it.
So first impressions on the game. How do you feel about it?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah?
I'll definitely play it for a while. If for
I'm
nothing
definitely
else,
gonna-
then like I said, to level the characters.
smuggling.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing it on launch. Unfortunately, well, I think it's like 5 days actually early. I think we'll be playing it on the 15th for pre-order, so I'll be doing that.
Oh, did they actually say how early you get it?
Yeah, I think it's 5 days now,
Alright. Well, that's pretty cool.
so it's actually not far away.
I don't really plan on rushing through this game. Like I usually do with like the WoW expansions and stuff like that. There's no reason to.
No, absolutely not. You're gonna be sitting at a cap level for a while before they release anything significant. So
Right.
yeah.
And
That's
I
the
don't
good
have any plans
well-
on like joining a guild or I don't know. Oh,
I
this is the
actually
thing. I started playing around with the UI a little bit, trying to figure out if like what could be moved. Apparently, the chat window can be put wherever the hell you want, but nothing else moves.
Yeah, the chat window up there is a little
Odd.
weird. to
But
see.
you can't put it in lower right because eventually that's where your companion bar is. So I think that's the
And
only
that-
place I could stick it.
Your hotbar, you can't move that whole interface to the right.
It doesn't seem like you can.
Okay.
I only fiddled with it for a couple minutes. You can hit the plus thing and it adds another hotbar on the bottom, but I don't know if you can put more hotbars than that. I assume since you continue to get abilities, you're going to have more hotbars. Unless it's going to be like DC Universe where you can only put like 6 on the fucking bar, which is just annoying.
Yeah.
Oh
Everything about that UI was annoying.
god, that was horrible. Chat system is exactly like every other game. Just channels, just like every other game. There's a general channel which seems to be global for the entire planet. They don't have level chat like they did in EverQuest, which, in my opinion, was stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
why
kind
they
of glad about that. The level
Yeah.
chat was kind of meh.
There's another racial ability that I have for scanning people. I have no idea what it does. It doesn't like show up any information or anything. I actually don't even use it.
It's like you
until
scan them. It's like
much
you
later.
are a dick. Okay.
I used it on a player and it didn't say anything. It has like a little graphic and you like scan them up and down.
Douchebag.
But yeah, like I was telling you earlier, the
That's it.